Sheridan.
Hey, what's your name?
I'm Jordan. What's your name? I'm Jordan Ebanks.
What do you think of the music industry in Northampton?
Yeah, that was great.
Hang around together. So you get to most of the Quaker
So, are you studying music at Northampton University?
I am, yes, popular music.
Yeah, it's the single honours BA music, proper music course.
What do you think of the music industry in Northampton?
I think it's quite good.
What do you think of the music industry in Northampton? Do you think there's a lot of opportunity for gigs?
Northampton compared to London, London's a lot more busier place, but at the same time, there's like a lot of social media as well. But no,
I don't think there's enough opportunity for gigs, to be honest with you. But strangely, there's a lot of music happening. So I think a lot of people mainly sort of try and make it happen for themselves. For instance, we put our own nights on to enable us to be able to play to people here. But there's not much to go by in terms of promoters and local stuff looking for bands to play for them and things like that. So,
there is a lot more opportunity in terms of lots of the industry are based in the capital and the big cities such as London and Manchester. But if you can manage to find the right people and promote yourself in the right way in your local area, then you have as much opportunity.
To be honest, no, because Northampton is generally like an older generation town. Like there's a lot of open mics there for older people. Sounds bad to say, but in terms of like kids, us, there really isn't anything there for us other than the stuff that we do with the SU.
I think there could be maybe more places open for free music, but obviously it's quite hard to get anywhere really, not just in Northampton.
there's enough venues, but I don't know how to kind of get into play at all of
yeah, because Northampton's a smaller town, so it's more local compared to London, which is a city. So.
Do you think there's any particular genres that seem to be emerging from the town, or?
From where I've been jamming and performing, it's mostly sort of rock. A lot of funk as well, particularly with like the older generation. They do enjoy playing that funk and stuff. But in terms of metal, which I'm into, there's not a massive metal scene in Northampton.
I don't know. We've kind of got our own genre. I suppose it would be the same in most places, but like metal.
I know a lot of kind of alternative bands. There's an all dayer that's happening in July, so that's going across from Penny Whistle and the race, something like that. I don't know, but yeah, there's that day, which is good. Like, I think there should be more things like that. There is things like the festival that happens on the race course as well. So, it's not like there's nothing about, but there could be more, I think.
There's enough venues. It's just, I think the people running them are more focused on profits rather than actually trying to make a music scene happen in their town.
Do you feel?
Obviously, London is such a big music scene.
If you can get a presence online, then you're on your way, without a doubt.
It's definitely the way things are going. I think creating an online presence for yourself is essential. Because it's just the done thing now, it's everyone's first port of call before they think about the radio or think about a music video. They think about YouTube. That's the number one medium. So I think that's the most important way of exposing yourself, to be honest. Yeah.
So in terms of that, you can manage to get your music worldwide, which has really helped. And they say that the best way to promote yourself is online. If you have a big connections, if you're going to see meeting with record companies, if you have 10,000-20,000 views on YouTube, your chances are...
Social media, internet, YouTube, it's all...
Like people like Billy Lockett, who's got to number 40 in the UK charts quite recently, unsigned, who doesn't really play in Northampton, but you know, he's got a wider spectrum. His UK tour in March is sold out, so he's going off to do other things. And then you've got stuff like the New Cassettes, who are really big, but they don't even gig in England because they're always in America. So there's loads of different facets of our music scene, and it's very vibrant at the moment. It was a bit quiet a couple of years ago, but now it's just sort of developing and growing and growing and growing. It's not really big business. I mean, like the Labour Club in Northampton, it is very DIY. There's a guy called Andy Skank who books most of the bands there, but it is, there is sort, as I said, there's sort of genre, and it is all do it yourself. And it is that punk attitude, whereas people are not. There's not necessarily people doing major supports anymore. It's people just putting on their own gigs and getting their friends and fans to come and do it themselves, you know, and selling their merch and stuff like that, and doing it all on their own. I think with the nature of things like BBC introducing, there was always a focus to always go to London or to always go to the major cities. If you're going to, you know, if you're going to perfect your craft or you're going to move up, you'd always think, right, I have to go to London. But as I said, with things like BBC introducing, it takes away that need, because you can be successful or identified by major record labels. You can have a major audience through being played on Radio 1, through introducing. So it's not as necessary. You know, it is always necessary to play London gigs, but it's just as necessary to play anywhere else in the country. If you're a band who wants to succeed, you need to play. You need to play everywhere. London doesn't seem as important as it used to be, and the focus has been taken off it because the world's smaller, because of, you know, the internet revolution of, if you want to listen to someone's music, you can just go click. You don't have to order a CD over the internet. You know, you'd have to order You don't have to order a CD by, you know, filling out a mailing form or anything like that. You can just tap it and you can listen to it. So if everything is instantly accessible. If you see a gig, I don't know, in Norwich or something, you can just go because you know about it already. There's no, the weight is taken away, if that makes sense. So London it has its place, but I just don't think it's as important as everyone makes out it should be, I guess. The British music scene now, like obviously Jake Bug come through BBC Introducing, Rizzle Kicks come through BBC Introducing. There's a whole host of all these up and coming bands that have come directly through us, and they've gained success and notoriety through being featured on local BBC Introducing shows, and then obviously moving up to Radio 1. Talking of Radio 1, Billy Lockett and another local girl band from Northampton called Nevermind have just about to be playlisted on Radio 1 for an entire week. Billy Lockett's is on the 10th and Nevermind's on the 2nd of February. And it's these things that raises the profile of bands. As I said, it's ingrained in our musical society now. Bands, they know that if they wanted to have a move up and they want it to be fluid, BBC Introducing is probably the best place to go. I think in any town you're always going to get little pockets of things that are very, very new. I mean, obviously we've got a massive electro swing sort of thing with Joe Burns Russell in Northampton doing Madame Electrically, which is also going on to a bigger audience by touring around the country. But I do think in small towns like ours, and it's not even necessarily that small, but you create things to make you happy. I don't know, you're always going to have those little things that make you unique, no matter where you're from, you know. But I think all festivals have their validity. I mean, Shambhala's an amazing festival. Secret Garden's an amazing festival. I mean, if you take Festival on the Isle of Wight, that started off as a boutique festival of 30,000 people, and now it's like 130,000 or something ridiculous like that. And I think on a small level, even like the NN Festival, which we had down Middy Meadow last year, which was the first one, and that was absolutely amazing. That was like a boutique festival, a one-day festival. You had a certain style of bands, certain style of people selling things, certain style of food and drink, and they are really important. Not only does it give artists a chance to perform on stage outside to an audience that probably won't normally listen to their music, but it's just a great opportunity. You know, playing festivals is just something that most bands, I'd recommend to any band to do, because it's just so important, because it's so different. You know, if instead of playing in a dingy room in the dark, you know, with people being sick in the corner, you're playing at a festival in a massive field on the back of a lorry playing to no one. It's brilliant. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Yeah. I think it's an experience that people should definitely try if you're in a band.
It's flowing through my mind. Oh, there's a waterfall. It's flowing.